Brazen Athletics. Happy Saturday. We have a lovely little endurance workout for you guys today. I personally am a fan of endurance workouts, but sometimes Jeff likes to throw in some of those fun things that make it a little bit more challenging, but that's life, So this week we have a 20-minute AMRAP. We are starting with 45 seconds on a wall sit, then moving to 18 dead bugs, then moving to 9 ground to overheads, and then finally ending with a 45-second bear hug hold, which is a new one, but not really a new one. So we get to incorporate some of these fun new objects that some of you guys picked up from the gym this week. Or don't worry if you got out of town or whatever a couple weeks ago, we've got a couple different options for you that we can play with. So these 45-second wall sits, to start with those, we're gonna find a wall, we're gonna find a spot on the wall where we can sit down. So essentially, we wanna create a 90-degree angle with our legs. So that probably means walking your feet out a little bit so that we can then sit nice and tall against the wall. This is not a wall sit up here. Notice how I'm at like a really wide angle. Geometry wasn't my favorite, but I want to get down to 90 degrees where I'm really engaging everything, keeping my hands at my side. We're not putting our hands here for extra support, hanging out here, engaging my core, really squeezing everything. Holding this for 45 seconds. Then we'll come off of this wall sit and we come down to 18 dead bugs. So the dead bug is a core exercise, and you look like a dead bug on the ground. So essentially, we want to start with getting our back nice and flat against the floor like this, holding our hands up like that. Once we have our back nice and flat against the floor, we're going to reach out with one leg at a time. This is a very controlled movement. It is not a bicycle kick. Then, if you need a little bit extra of a challenge, you can do your opposite hand, but make sure you're fighting to keep that back nice and flat against the floor. If you have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, you want to hold that overhead. Be my guest, but as it's programmed without weight. So then we get to some of the fun parts. So let's grab our dumbbells or kettlebells, our backpacks. If you have a weighted vest, these are all different things that you can use for these ground to overhead. Some of you probably grab some plates, barbells. Take one of those plates off the barbell for these ground to overheads. I'm going to show two different options with these. Remember, a ground to overhead is either a snatch or a clean and jerk, but essentially it's getting the object from the ground to the overhead in any way possible. So if you have a weighted vest or a backpack, you can start with it like this. Make sure you hold it nicely, and then flipping it around, ground to overhead like that. Notice how I'm using my hips to drive this up over top of my head. Additionally, you can use a single dumbbell, you can use a single kettlebell, you can do 2 dumbbells, you can do 2 kettlebells.
Louis doesn't like these.
But yeah, clearly Louis doesn't like these. But essentially, you can either clean and jerk it up or you can snatch it overhead. So with a single dumbbell, you can snatch it up overhead like that, using my hips, opening them up, getting it up. You can also clean and jerk it like that. With 2, same idea. Clean and jerk or snatch. Then finally, bear hug hold, also known as a D-ball hold. So if you happen to have a D-ball, I know that we didn't lend any out because they're a little fragile, but if you have a D-ball or a wall ball, you can use that for your 45-second hold. You want to load up a backpack, you can load up a backpack. Let's just pretend that this is my backpack that I loaded up, but this is 20-pound weight vest. So I'm just going to bear hug this, hold it for 45 seconds. Yeah, okay, I'm 5-10 seconds in. This isn't that bad, but eventually it'll start to get a little bit tough. Make sure you're squeezing everything, staying nice and stacked, tucking that tailbone in, bear hugging it like this. If you have dumbbells, you could also do a front rack hold. So bringing this up to our front rack, keeping our elbows nice and tucked, squeezing our core, squeezing our glutes, staying nice and stacked. So those are a couple different options. I just introduced that front rack hold. Let's say you don't have anything that you can bear hug, you can use that. So I would say move through these nice and steady, nice and smooth. It is an endurance workout. Keep that in mind. This wall sit going to tax that central nervous system. These dead bugs, you're going to be able to recover a little bit, but going to tax your core. Then you need your core for these ground to overhead and also for these bear hug holds. Ground to overhead will spike your heart rate. These, again, central nervous system. So know that going into this workout. Enjoy it. I'll be there at 9:30 to coach you guys. But aside from that, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on Zoom.
Zoom, zoom.